So, in the future, we will not be alone anymore. As you can see here, I'm not talking about aliens. When I grew up, I was an only child. And I was always fascinated by people that team up together and succeed and create amazing work. From science to art. Think about Pierre and Marie Curie, or even the Daft Punk. When I started my career in advertising, I was really discovering this world is totally based on creative teams. What is a creative team? A creative team usually is a copywriter who is in charge of writing words, and an art director who is in charge of visualizing image. And when I start my career, I was a creative, then I managed creative teams. And from everywhere I was, from America to Europe to Asia, I observed that three characteristics make them successful. The first one is the common culture they share. I mean, that create a bond and the connivance that allows them to work. The second characteristic is their different strategies of thinking. Complementary, think about words and image. And the third one is their ability to listen and understand each other. 1 year ago, in 2022, something happened. Something impacted deeply the way I work, how I work as an advertising man, but also how I'm working as an artist, as a photographer. This was the rise of generative artificial intelligence. We can call that, what is generative artificial intelligence? This is artificial intelligence that can create image, music, text, code, whatever we can imagine that human beings are supposed to do. But at this moment, a long time ago, last year, it was the rise of visual artificial intelligence. I start to create and have a relationship with generative artificial intelligence at the same way as I was working with a team. How? First of all, I start to create a common culture. How we create a common culture between a human being and a generative AI? Simply by doing something. What I did, I took all the pictures I took from Paris, and especially the metro, because I like the metro in Paris, especially, yes, I know there are a lot of strikes, but I took all the material, all the stuff I have, and I start to create this common culture and train an artificial intelligence to create new kind of pictures. This is the kind of picture I start to create. The second thing I did was really leveraging the fact that this is artificial intelligence and not human intelligence. So what does that mean? I remember Garry Kasparov saying a few decades ago when he was playing against IBM Deep Blue that it's a new kind of intelligence. And this new kind of intelligence has its own strategy of thinking. So I leverage it and start to create new concepts. New concepts like this one. This is my poodle man. As you can see, and this is where generative artificial intelligence helps me to create, he shares some physical properties of its cute, teeny poodle. And even the hair, everything is shared. It helps me to create other kind of image like this for this cheap man. As you can see, you have this guy sitting near the ship, which is normal in the metro, and he shared exactly the same kind of hairstyle. Or, in the street of Montmartre, having this beautiful bird woman that is totally mixed between a human and a bird. The third thing I start to apply was the ability to listen and understand each other. I mean, this is important because when you start to work with generative artificial intelligence, there is a way to do that. The simple way to do that is iteration and visual feedback. So, as you can see here, this picture was taken a long time ago. It was at Châtelet-Les Halles. And I start to iterate. So you will see just a few iterations there, but the reality is much more than that. So some iteration allow me to create this angel going back down to the stairs, and again, to finally create the image I want. This was the image, the final one on the right, this one. So, what's happened to me, the way how I practice a new genre of photography, a new kind of creation, is not just an only story in the world. Today, lots of fields are impacted by generative artificial intelligence. From science, architecture, cinema is coming, journalism, coding, design, education, all these fields will be impacted. And the way how we work, the way how we have our own creative process is changing. I am convinced that in the future, we will not be alone anymore. I mean, in the future, we will partner with generative AI. They will be our sparring partner. Think just about an evolutionary perspective. If we remember, If we remember from this evolutionary way, 2 million years ago, the Homo habilis was there, and he was inventing the tool, weapon, stones, but the human being was just alone with a tool. And the first social unit was the family. I pretend the first kind or the new kind of social unit will be a human being and a generative AI in the future. And this is a new way of thinking the partnership and the human species. So, the point is, a partnership can lead to two kinds of futures. Partnership, the concept of partnership is important, but at this core, there is another concept, which is the balance. If the future is unbalanced, if we totally discharge all our tasks to generative AI, if we think, and this is why the fear arises now, we will be replaced by generative AI, we will have what I can say a broken partnership. On the other hand, in the future, I believe we can really make a balanced partnership with generative AI and have positive, ethical, and economical impact on our society. If it's so, I believe that we will be able to create new form of art. We will be able to find and innovate and think about ideas that we were not able to find before. And with this partnership, well balanced, I'm sure we will be able also to solve the toughest challenge that science is giving to us. And it will help us to impact positively our mankind. Thank you.